Sure. I'll start with the personal background, which has kind of helped to define my character, and then I'll move on to kind of the professional experiences. So I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but I've lived in Los Angeles, Baltimore, DC, deep Mississippi, as I tell people, and now Atlanta. I'm a triple HBCU, historically Black college and university graduate. I went to undergrad at Jackson State. I got a master's in teaching from Morgan State, and then I completed my education at Howard University School of Law. And I mention all of that because I bring a diverse perspective to any environment that I'm in. Over the years, I've kind of developed a keen understanding of the underbelly of the justice system, which has kind of led to empathy for the individuals that would make up the Georgia Justice Project's clients. Professionally, I'm an attorney working at Microsoft, providing general counsel for two of Microsoft's key divisions, its global partner engagement and U.S. state and local government sales teams that are each multi-billion-dollar businesses. My responsibilities include advising internal business clients on complex cloud computing, device agreements with education, state, and local government customers in the US, as well as advising on professional services, traditional software licensing, consulting services, a variety of corporate and contractual matters. Basically, my clients call me. I'm the first point of contact for any questions that they may have that may have legal implications. I'm also a champion of Microsoft's diversity and inclusion efforts, and I sit on our African American Black Employee Network Steering Committee. So in addition to my diverse perspective, I bring subject matter expertise to the board on artificial intelligence, data security and privacy, cloud computing, digital transformation, and regulatory compliance. So hopefully that gives a good kind of setup for the experience that I would bring. It comes from being a Black man in America. And Doug, you and I have talked about this before. So I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So now we'll dive a little bit deeper into kind of some of these personal experiences. And I have many family members that are caught in the criminal justice system. Wisconsin is kind of like a pipeline to the prison. Most of Wisconsin is rural with large prisons, and you have a few cities urban cities, Milwaukee and Madison, where most of the population is. As we just saw an example in the storm on the Capitol, there's disparate treatment of African Americans by the law enforcement. And so some are actually guilty and others it's very questionable. Like I have a cousin that's been locked up. He got 48 years. No one died. No one was harmed. And they charged him with attempted robbery because he was with someone who attempted a robbery that he was not aware of. And so this is my very close cousin. I could have been with him that day if my mom hadn't made me stay home. And so I've been trying to help him for as long as I can remember. And so because of that, I'm very aware of, trying to communicate to someone who's in prison, the exorbitant charges that the telephone companies charge per minute, the ridiculousness. So, and I'm also aware of the system, and that's kind of what made me want to get into law. I had my own personal experience where I was taken off a bus with my brother, and I had to be about 6 or 7 years old, and they accused him of rape, a city bus, and we're handcuffed. I was handcuffed as well with my brother, and we're like, what did we do? No one told us. And then they found the guy a couple of stops before, and it was just like okay, sorry, took the cuffs off. And we're like, but how are we gonna get to our auntie house? Our bus transfers have expired. So they took us there, and didn't really say much. There wasn't much of an apology, and that kind of was my first foray. But growing up in Milwaukee, you understand and you see a lot. And so I've had a lot of exposure. I still have family members that I talk to that are kind of caught up in the system. And so that's what has helped me to develop the empathy. And then I'm, again, a Black man in America, my eyes are open. Well, ironically, I was talking to one of my Microsoft colleagues, Mary Jo, who happened to sit on the Georgia Justice Project board, about my nephew who had recently been released from prison. So that was probably TMI, but Mary Jo, we have that type of relationship. And she told me about the Georgia Justice Project, and she introduced me to you, Doug, and found out we kind of had ties to Wisconsin, and I've been trying to assist GJP in their efforts ever since. Just the group of people that you're seeking to help and the impact that it could have on people's lives. So I volunteered for the clinics, and the two people that I helped in no uncertain terms expressed to me how I had changed their life through my efforts in trying to help them get their records expunged and helping them to get a job in housing. I won't go into all of the detail, probably for privacy reasons, but that really impacted me. And I want to help those people because sometimes we make mistakes. And while our justice system, clearly from the Capitol storming, we take two different perspectives. To some, oh, they got caught up in the hype. It was a mistake. They stormed our Capitol. But we can't have that same grace and mercy and understanding on something simple as someone who whooped their child, who was disciplining their child, their teenager, and that teenager just happened to call the police. Now you have to charge them with child abuse, third-degree child abuse, for real, which is going to impact their job and their ability to get public housing. Like, that's a mistake. I think they have to. And I think America is waking up and realizing we're acknowledging some of the things that as a country we've done as a past. And a lot of these corporations, they really, I'll say they got their seed money or their seed start or their ideas typically from minorities that weren't able to patent them or even from slave labor. And it's only fair and just that you kind of pour into the communities which you have taken out. I think minorities are a large consumer base for many of the Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies. And now you have individuals like myself, this generation, and not just minorities, you also have Caucasians and majorities who have come up, these millennials who understand, well, first off, the history we've been taught is not accurate. It's not fair. And they are almost to some extent renouncing their caste place in society and saying, hey, let's be fair. Let's treat all people equal. Let's invest. And so they care about social impact. It's no longer just how much you're paying me and how long I can stay at a job. I think the trend is showing that if you're not giving them meaningful work and allowing, if your employees don't feel like they're having a positive impact, they are now valuing that over money to some extent and will leave. I think second chances matter. I'm a spiritual guy. I'm going to try not to preach, but you know, you're asking from my lens, from my perspective, God gives us chances over and over again. I couldn't be God because I would lose my patience with myself. Like, all right, you're done. You knew better. I think second chances matters. Many employers benefit from, Atlanta citizenry, and many of their employees care about these issues. And I think research shows that employers are facing like really large technical skills gaps for the positions that they will need to hire for in the near future. So every able potential employee counts. And if we're locking up a large part of our society and not giving them second chances because of whatever fears we have, I think that's flawed thinking, and we all need to take a look in the mirror and realize, oh, what if I didn't get that second chance? We've all done something to where, we should have empathy. And I think as we, as a society, grow in emotional intelligence, we will understand the positive impact that providing second chances is. Of course, as I mentioned, I have a bit of empathy because I dealt with that with my nephew, trying to make sure that he got off on the right foot when he got his second chance and was released. And we know that for whatever reason, our society, our system really doesn't care to give people a second chance. Once you're labeled and you're caught in the system, it's like, oh, this is the way you are. That's the way you'll always be. And Doug, you came to Microsoft and spoke about this. That's not, it's supposed to be reform. It's not to just do away with people, but our system has it wrong. So I think it's very important. I'm looking forward to getting to work to help in any way that I can as a board member on furthering this issue about second chances and what we're going to do about it. I just want to say thank you to all of the board members that voted and decided to put me on the board. I bring a different energy. I recognize that. I bring different experiences, and I'm just thankful for the courage that the board members had in taking a chance on me. I'm grateful, and I'm eager to get to work to help everyone. And please understand that I hope to bring the kind of digital transformation aspect so that the hard work that GJP does can be efficient and then scalable, because I think we need GJP across the nation, basically.